Alright guys, this is part two. We're just going to jump right in here, start ripping through these things so I can keep this short and sweet. So here we have cool things here, a couple cool things from Magnum. Some Ingve J, Malmsteen, Odyssey. A little bit of Men at Work. Couple things there. Business as usual. Some Molly Hatchet. There's a few Men at Work things in here. Not Men at Work. Men at Work we already went through. Marshall Tucker Band. Greatest Hits. Tuckerized. Marillion. I think Steve, Brother Steve, Harmless Rebel, sent me a Marillion record. Wasn't this one, but this is Clutching at Straws. Medusa Trapeze. A few Night Ranger pieces. I know Brett will dig these. Little Dawn Patrol. And Big Life. Love this one, Quiet Lies, Juice Newton, Queen of Hearts. Nectar, I know a couple of you guys will like those. Through the Ears. Some Naz, 20 Greatest, I didn't have that one. No Mean City. And Full Circle. Billy Ocean. That's an upgrade from me. That's why I pulled that one. Only Child. One that I hadn't heard of, but looked really cool. The purple guitar there on the front. So, haven't heard it. 80s arena rock, probably. Probably one of the worst album covers ever. And we have some Outfield. Great. Highly underrated band. Great album, but one that I didn't have here. Bangin'. I didn't have this one either. Voices of Babylon. I had a couple copies of Play Deep. Had a couple copies of that, but Jimmy Page. Outrider. Power Station. This was very cool. Pet Shop Boys. Actually, it's like a box, real thick, very cool. Anyway, won't go through it. But if you know what this is, you know what it is. If not, you can look it up. There you go. If it'll focus. Steve Perry, Street Talk. I see Brandon show that all the time. Tom Petty. Hard Promises. Some Petra. Phoenix. In Full View. Point Blank, I think Metal Ron Haggerty loves these guys. So Ron, I know you had sent me that one a while back, so I have an extra copy of that. But I didn't know if you had these. The Hard Way. American Excess. I know you love those guys. On a Roll. Here's some Robert Palmer. Painter features the hit West Coast Woman. That's a promotional copy as well. Peter and Gordon in London for Tea. Pilot. Couple Player albums here. That one's in better condition than this one is. This one has a little ring wear on it. And then here is Spies of Life, Prophet, Cycle of the Moon, Private Life. I think this one is produced by Eddie Van Halen. I know me and Mitch Wood were just talking about that album the other night. Police, Every Breath You Take, the singles. Moving on over here. Back that up a little bit. And down. Rascals, Greatest Hits. Love this album. Kenny Rogers in the first edition. Greatest Hits. Little Reuben James, Ruby, Don't Take Your Love to Town. Rough Diamond. Some crazy light going on here. Make sure I can see it. Yeah, there we go. Mike Reno and Moxie, Thinking About You. The Records, Starry Eyes. I have a couple of those. They're promotional copies, not for sale. Another one here, The Records, radio station promo. Bunch of REO. There's Wheels Are Turning. 9 Lives. The Hits. You guys know how I feel about REO. I absolutely love those guys. High Infidelity. Fantastic record. Bunch. You can tune a piano, but you can't tune a fish. You get what you play for live. Gary Rickrath, man, what a guitar player. Good Trouble. Decade of Hits. 70 to 80. This one I wish was a little bit better. I think I have another copy, but it's every copy I've ever seen of this has been beat to hell. Nice upgrade copy of Riding the Storm Out. My other copy, it's a matte finish. There's some gunk on it, so I was glad to get that. This is Riders, Country Wine. Raiders, Country Wine. Wasn't familiar, so had to pull that. Roadmaster, Sweet Music. A couple Roadmaster things here. Hey World. Self-titled, I guess. Bunch of Rainbow things in here as well. Richie Blackmore's Rainbow. I know Blackmore Rules will love seeing these. Rising. Been Out of Shape. Straight Between the Eyes. There's Down to Earth. Didn't have that one. Restless Heart. Great country band of the 80s. Wheels. And Big Dreams in a Small Town. Killer album. Great album. Larry Stewart is a great vocalist. Runner. These were very cool. Rare Bird. Epic Forest. Promotional copy. There are a couple Rare Bird things in here. Born Again. This one was really nice. Somebody's Watching. Beautiful mint copy. Rosington Collins Band from Skynyrd fame. That's Anytime, Anyplace, Anywhere. And then just as the Rosington Band. Love Your Man. What's that? Jerry Rafferty. A couple things here. Raspberries, Fresh Raspberries. And Raspberries Best. Eric Carmen. I've seen a couple people show these, and you can't get past the cover. Emmett Rhodes. Never heard it, not familiar, but there were a couple copies of that in here. So I pulled it, and am curious to give that a listen. Saga. This is another one in transit. There were a handful of Sawyer Brown things. Believe it or not, I did not have this Outgoing Catton. I had the others, so these are duplicates. Shaken, self-titled, and Somewhere in the Night. These are sealed copies of Dan Seals, very best stuff. Dan Seals, England Dan, John Ford Coley, but great songs on there, and Rage On. I think I have a copy of that, but nice to have a sealed copy. So moving over. All right, guys. So lastly here, Queensryche, Rage for Order. Queen, this one wasn't in the best, these matte finish white covers. I mean, the back's not bad, but the front looks like somebody spilled some coffee on it or something. Night at the Opera. The vinyl is immaculate, so I'm going to just try and find a better cover for that. I've probably got one or two laying around. Queen 2, great album. Good to have a nice upgrade copy of that as well. My original copy was kind of trashed. Day at the Races. This very cool. Skagerrak, Slice of Heaven. Look at that cover. Very cool. I'm assuming, I don't know, I hate to assume, but I'm assuming that's metal. I'm going to have to check that out. Like I said, I did research on these, but I didn't make notes. I'm just mental notes. So Survivor. There's a handful of Survivor things here. Was Eye of the Tiger. Vital Signs. 1 Second's Count. This one's cool. Didn't never see this one. I hadn't seen it anyway. It wasn't in my collection already, so good to have that. Too Hot to Sleep. Somewhere Over the Radio. Stevens and Gerdnick. Sealed copy. So this is Steeler. Self-titled, I guess. Styx. I didn't have that. Didn't have that copy of Lady, so it's nice to have that. And then this Paradise Theater, I didn't have this particular copy. I have the blue copy. Pieces of 8. Sorry, going through these quick here. Grand Illusion. Cornerstone. It's an upgrade copy. Like I said, the vinyl on these are just immaculate. Surf Punks, kind of cool. Sounds of Silence, Simon and Garfunkel. I believe this isn't a first pressing. This is a stereo pressing, but it is, just so you know, in case anybody is interested, because this is a pretty decent album. That original inner sleeve on the Columbia Red. So it's a little later pressing, not bad, but in beautiful condition. Trooper, lots of good stuff. Flying Colors, 2 for the Show. I believe that's another one that Steve had sent me that was passed along to him from Scott Waters, I believe. Great band. Love those guys. I noticed a little bit of an REO Speedwagon. I took a little bit of REO Speedwagon from Thick as Steve's great record. So there's your Trooper. Warrior, Fighting for the Earth. Some Wishbone Ash, the original. What a great cover here. Argus, Wishbone Ash. And then this is one I promised David Michael I would give a listen. This is a great copy that if I'm going to listen to one, these are beautiful records, so I'm going to listen to this Neil Young, even though I think I can't stand him. But there were some pretty cool Neil Young things. Journey Through the Past, an original soundtrack. Harvest. Comes a Time. Time Fades Away. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. Everybody knows This Is Nowhere. A beautiful Absolutely beautiful, razor sharp copy, top copy. This is cool. I was really pumped. Call me silly, but I was really pumped to see this. Weird Al, Greatest Hits, sealed copy. And then 2001 Space Odyssey. I just sent that out to Chris. So there you go, guys. That does it for part 2. Tune in for part 3. Thanks.